welcome guys back to a brand new video of my final thoughts of this past week of the NFL here in week 14. Might even have a little bit of a talk of the college football playoff final rankings. We'll get right into it now. So we'll start off, of course, Thursday night football. The Packers came into Detroit in a clash of the NFC North this past week in a great game, one of the best games of the week. And a pretty dominant day for fantasy owners of Josh Jacobs finding the end zone 3 times. But it was not enough to take down Jared Goff in his 3-touchdown passing day. Dave Montgomery finding the end zone as well, and as well Jahmyr Gibbs. Dan Campbell, everybody knew he was going to go for it on 4th and 1. What a play call. Jared Goff was about to sell the whole thing, falls down, saves it. Gets that handoff in and a first down, and then the game-winning field goal by Jesse Bates. And the Lions go now to 12-1 on the year, and the Packers drop to 9-4. Very tough loss for the Packers. Kind of thought they were going to maybe almost pull that upset there in Detroit. They've done it before, but not this year. But what a game, though, to start off our week 14 of the NFL. Lions big-time win. You gained a gain above now on the Packers in the NFC North. So right now it's pretty much almost down to that battle of two teams with the Vikings and the Lions, with now we have a total of 4 weeks of the NFL regular season left. So the Packers right now, you're 9-4, you're about it's a 3-game, you're about down 3 games. So there's pretty much almost no chance for the Packers to even win this division anymore. So the Lions, and comfortable with that, just have to deal with Minnesota. But either way, what a great way to start off the week 14. Game-winning field goal, balls of steel, Dan Campbell. Lions get it done, 34-31, in a big-time win in an NFC North clash. And we'll move on to the 1 o'clock slate games on Sunday. We'll start out with the Carolina Panthers and the Philadelphia Eagles. It has now been 3 straight weeks that the Carolina Panthers have become this close on getting wins against, as well as good teams too, but not this week against the Eagles again. Just a tough break. Xavier Legette, you got to be kidding me, dude. You had the game winner. It was in your hands. I thought it was a catch as soon as I saw it live. Touches the ground, incomplete. Then the Eagles end up winning the game. Wasn't enough. The Panthers had one more chance. It didn't matter after that, and the game was over. Eagles, they're on a good. They keep winning games. They're 10-2. As well as everyone expected this game maybe be more of a blowout. It was not, of course, but as Eagle fans, I'm not an Eagles fan, as you can tell. I get this wrong every time up here, of course, as a Cowboys fan, as everyone knows. What are your thoughts on the Jalen Hurts, though? 100 yards passing, not going to get it done in the playoffs. Seriously. Jalen Hurts right now, rushing TDs, yeah, he's got them. Saquon over 100 yards. A.J. Brown only held to 42 yards receiving. Definitely losing Dallas Goedert definitely hurts on this offense for sure. But I just expect more out of Philadelphia. And right now, Jalen Hurts I don't know. Well, they're finding ways to win. I don't know how much I believe them in a playoff run, though. So, but either way, though, besides that, an ugly game, though, for the Eagles. They get the win. They sneak it out in a very tough battle. At the same time, though, I will cut them just a little slack, though. Crazy enough to even say, though. The Panthers have been playing teams great. I think they beat Dallas next week, to be honest. I bet they do. I bet the Panthers win next week's game against Dallas. I'll go 26-21. Panthers win against Dallas next week. So we'll see if that holds. But either way, Panthers playing good ball. Eagles, though, they sneak it out. Legit, just a disgusting drop. And Eagles win again. A not-so-welcome home visit for Kirk Cousins. Another disgusting game out of Kirk Cousins. 2 interceptions. Right when that Ray McCloud fumble happened on the kick return, I think this game, it was just over. And have a day. My quarterback in fantasy, Sam Darnold. 5 touchdowns in the air. Jordan Addison going off. Aaron Jones finds the end zone. Justin Jefferson's finding the end zone. Everyone's finding the end zone for Minnesota. A dominating performance, statement win, I would say, for Minnesota and their replacement quarterback of Sam Darnold now and getting rid of Kirk Cousins might be one of the best things we've ever seen. Unbelievable. I mean, of course, they still have J.J. McCarthy too, but what's going on in Atlanta, guys? I mean, just ugly football week in and week out of Kirk Cousins. They are now second in an ugly NFC South. Tampa Bay is now taking the lead in that division now, not tied anymore. Just an ugly, ugly performance. I mean, this was a great game going on, and then it just went so far south. Went so far south. What a great win for Minnesota. Still a game out of the NFC North. And do they play the Lions again? Yes, the last game of the season, possibly the NFC North up for grabs on week 18, I think it is, or now is it week 17? I can't even remember how many weeks there is anymore in NFL. I believe it is week 18. Either way, a great win for Minnesota. Dominating performance week in and week out. They're doing some great things now. Offense just looked fantastic. Like I said, 5 touchdowns for Sam Darnold. Unbelievable performance from him. He gets the win. Great job for Minnesota. I think you're almost hitting that panic button right now if you're an Atlanta Falcon fan. It's not looking good. Down to 6-7. The longest NFL playoff drought. 14 straight years. The Jets are officially eliminated once again from NFL playoff contention. Very disappointing season for the Jets as they now fall to 3-10 on the year. Much needed win for the Dolphins to try to stay in contention of the playoffs, go to 6-7. It's kind of slim, but there's still hope. And is Tyreek Hill starting to come back? Back-to-back nice weeks for him. Jonnu Smith decides to start playing and show up to work in overtime and completely takes over the game. Jonnu Smith leads the Dolphins, and two, of course, leads the Dolphins with Jonnu Smith and help down the field to win the game in overtime. 32-26, and an unexpected, really good game we had here. A lot more points than I did not expect this many points to be scored in this one. A nice performance, though. Garrett Wilson really gets more involved in this offense. Isn't it amazing when that happens? Devontae Adams as well. Had himself a pretty decent game. Both receivers over 100 yards, and they lost. I mean, what do you do? Once again, though, it did stink, though. They no Breece Hall for the Jets is definitely a factor, I think, as well. But a nice day, though. I mean, just a tough loss. I mean, Dolphins get it done. Yeah, I mean, really not a whole lot to say. Just a nice offensive performance from Miami. They needed the win big time, and like I said, Jonnu Smith just took over the game. This dude didn't have any catches the whole game until overtime. Insane. He had the game winner. The Fins up. They're staying alive in that playoff hunt. Once again, 14 years straight, the Jets are not. And we move to one of the two snooze fest of the week here, the Saints and Giants. Ugh. I hope no one watched this game. I mean, I don't think I watched a single snap of this entire game. Heard something going on in the stands with some flashing. Looks like the Giants' kick was flashed, in my opinion. So, blocked field. I mean, it was blocked, give or take, but you know what I mean here. Either way, the Saints get a sneak win out of New York, 14-11. Really not a whole lot to say about this game. Super ugly. Very bummer, though. Once again, though, Derek Carr now goes out again. We'll see how long that. I actually haven't seen what his injury is. Crazy enough, I thought it was his wrist, but I'm not even quite sure. Honestly, That's how much I didn't pay attention to this game. No disrespect to Carr, but I just did not watch this game. I have not followed of any injuries at all in this game. But an ugly win, 14-11. Saints get a win. Who dat? 5-8. Dolphins. Giants go to 2-11 on the year. Yeah, just I think it's just time to move on to the next game because that game was just awful. Oh wait, it literally gets worse. The Jags and Titans. Oh my gosh, dude, are you kidding me? This actually might have been one of the worst games of the year, honestly. The Jaguars win 10-6. 10-6 in a disgusting game. The Titans had a chance to walk it off, and Westbrook could not. Will Levis couldn't connect with Westbrook. Kene there on the game winner potential, incomplete, and the Jags win. I mean, I honestly don't even know what to say about this game. It was just, it was just bad. I mean, Tony Pollard, 100 yards. Brian Thomas, 86 yards. Mac Jones sucks, 2 interceptions, and he wins. No touchdowns, 2 over 200 yards. This game was awful. Awful. You couldn't pay me enough money to watch that game. Congrats to the Toilet Bowl champions, Jacksonville Jaguars, on this game against the Tennessee Titans, and both of these teams will be fighting for a top 5 pick. And that's it. And we move on to the trap game again. Not this time. The Browns went to Pittsburgh to take on the arch rival Pittsburgh Steelers, and it was almost a trap game. Slow start for Pittsburgh. Then they got it really going. Dustin Hopkins just missing field goal after field goal, getting no momentum going there for the Browns, and the Steelers definitely took advantage of that. Up 27-7 at one point, and another just Jameis Winston masterclass. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, mid-play calling, 212 passing yards for Winston, and that's just about it. No George Pickens, I would say that was pretty unexpected for him to come out. I mean, we're watching the fantasy show in NFL Live. They said he's questionable, but he should. I thought he was going to suit up, but he did not. So, but no problem there for Pittsburgh, though. They proved they could try to win without him. It's the Browns, but still, rival game, divisional game, you never know. So, and that's one of their big pieces of that offense, the puzzle, and they didn't need him. So, a big time win for Pittsburgh. They go to 10-3. They gain a half game in first place on the Ravens there. So now 10-3 now. No Ravens playing. So like I said, they get that half game lead even more now. So once again, Pittsburgh, what run can they make in the playoffs, and can they host a playoff game? Because I really think if the Pittsburgh Steelers want to move on in the playoffs, they got to be at home in Pittsburgh. If they're not in Steel City, I think they're a first round exit. That's just my opinion. So yeah, that's what this is all about. Jerry Jeudy, of course, he finds the end zone. Decent game for him, 64 yards on 5 catches. And yeah, that's about all she wrote for the Browns. Just a pathetic special teams game there. And no trap game this time for Mike Tomlin. He figured it out. Steelers, they get the win. And we move on to the last 1 o'clock game of the Raiders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was a great hot start there for Tampa Bay, up 14-0 early. They were looking like they were going to just run away with it. And that did not happen. O'Connell had an okay game. Actually, I lied. No, he did not. Interception for him, just over 100 yards. The Raiders just found a way to just keep it close, and I really don't understand that. I mean, O'Connell did have a rushing touchdown, yeah, but so no Bucky Irving. This time it was Rachaad White, and then 1 week it's going to be Bucky Irving, and then we're not going to see Rachaad White at all. So that's what it was this week. Rachaad White took over. He had a great game. Baker Mayfield, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, But speaking of O'Connell, though, he now goes down with an injury. Who knows how long he's going to be out. Desmond Ridder, I think, should be, starting for the Raiders this week, as if anybody cares. Almost thought we were going to see a trap game, but Tampa Bay, they ended up getting it done. It's a big-time, much-needed win for Tampa Bay. They win at 28-13. Like I said, now in first place in the NFC South. They're now 7-6. Most likely, you win that division, you're in the playoffs, and that's all she wrote in that division because it's bad. Second place probably isn't going to cut it for the wild card. And yeah, much needed win for Tampa Bay. They get it done. Not pretty, but they got the job done. Raiders are just looking for that top 3 first-round draft pick. And now we'll go to the 4 o'clock slate games. And we move on to the game of the week. The Bills and the Rams. What a clash between Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford. An offensive shootout. Josh Allen went absolutely insane, doing anything he can do to win this game. When it was 31-14, I mean, Bills coming back, but the defense couldn't get any stops on this Rams offense. Puka Nacua, have yourself a day. Multiple touchdowns, over 150 yards. Kyren Williams sends him twice on 87 yards rushing. 320 yards for Matthew Stafford. 342 yards for Josh Allen. 3 touchdowns. Led the team in rushing yards with 82. Shakir have himself a nice, decent day, over 100 yards and a touchdown. This game was great. All you could ask for. But it came down to why. The QB sneak, you wasted the timeout. Why? Why? That's just the call of the day. Very questionable there, but either way, though, it was a great game. Rams much needed win It might even come down to. I mean, there's a chance there. I mean, nah. I mean, it's most likely. Yeah, it's going to be one team probably coming out of the NFC West. I don't. I mean, with the you got the Vikings or Lions or Packers. Two of those teams are coming out of the NFC North, making the playoffs. So I mean, there's going to be, and then you have the Commanders, who's most likely going to make it, but it's not official. Not official that they're even in. Don't overlook that. I mean, there could be two. If there's, it is not going to be the NFC South. There's not going to be two teams in the NFC playoffs. If there's going to be two teams, it's also going to be the NFC West. There's a chance the Commanders. I honestly think the Commanders might get left out. There's definitely a very high chance of that happening. I don't know what their schedule is right now off the top of my head. But there's some hope, though. I mean, the Rams play the 49ers this week. Big time game. Much need to win for both teams. 49ers lose, they're out. Pretty much. They're pretty much out. But the Rams, they got a big game this coming week. They're at San Fran on Thursday night. They're 7-6, second place in the division. So Cardinals lost. Seahawks won. They're in first place still at 8-5. And the 49ers right there at 6-7 as well. So it's a big week in the NFC West. It's going to be fun to watch. But either way, what a great game between the Bills and Rams. By far the game of the week. Hopefully we see these two teams maybe in the future. Probably not in the Super Bowl, but I'd love to see these two teams play again sometime because it was great. Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, classic. And then we move on to one of our blowouts of the week. The Bears and the 49ers, speaking of San Fran, much needed win for them. Bouncing back from last week's loss against the Bills, of course. They got dominated. But this time, the 49ers dominated. Bears, another loss for them in the loss column. They go to 4-9. And nice day, though, for Purdy. 2 touchdowns. It was all about George Kittle. George Kittle this. George Kittle's catching that. George Kittle's catching this. Dude's getting so many dang yards. 51 yards for Kittle on 6 catches. Isaac Guerendo, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Heard he's banged up now as well, though. So hopefully he's okay. Like I said, with injury reports, I haven't really read about any of it besides my own Dallas Cowboys. But still, Isaac finds the end zone twice. Just Adunze, he gets in the end zone late twice, and that's about all she wrote for Chicago. Now I'm going to say about this game, didn't really watch any of it because I'm watching the Bills and Rams game instead, and this game was a blowout. So the 49ers get a much-needed bounce-back win from their blowout that they took. Now they blow out another team. This time, they blow out a team. Bears fans, I'm sorry. It's been a long season. Again. Last but not least, more NFC West action. The Seahawks and the Cardinals. Cardinals had a pretty good start going in, and then costly INTs from Kyler Murray here. Here's the question of the day on this video. Is Jackson Smith-Njigba the true wide receiver 1 in Seattle? Because it's really starting to look like it. This dude's really balling out, man. He had 82 yards at a touchdown on 5 catches. DK just a day. I'm not even on it. What were DK Metcalf stats? Because 4 catches, 49 yards. I mean, come on, dude. Well, that dude, I mean, the way DK Metcalf is seriously built as an athlete, his quickness, good use of the hands of catching footballs. I mean, he's massive. I mean, I don't understand how. I mean, this dude is a serious. That is like one of the receivers. If I had to guard in the NFL, he is my bottom of the list on who I don't want to guard. I just think this dude is a beast, and he's just doing nothing. I mean, gosh, wish I had his physique of a freaking body and get paid to just have mid freaking games. I mean, come on now. I mean, seriously. I'm not impressed with DK Metcalf this year by any means. But either way, Jackson Smith-Njigba, a great game. But the better game is Zach Charbonnet. 2 touchdowns for him, 134 yards on 22 carries. Dude was doing it all. What a great game from Zach Charbonnet. And is he the true running back 1 in Seattle? Is he better than Kenneth Walker? Another number 2 question of the day for the Seahawks offense. A big-time win. They go to 30-18 win over Arizona. Tough loss for Arizona. Go to 6-7, now 2 games back from first place. And like I said earlier, the Seahawks are now in first at 8-5. What can they do? Right now, they control their own destiny. Do they play the Rams again? Last game of the year. This could be another NFC North issue. They play the Packers and the Vikings as well. But they play the Rams in LA on January 5th. Could possibly be for the division. Time will tell. Week by week. Now, we go to Sunday Night Football. I don't even know why I sounded excited for that. Because the game pissed me off. I didn't get to watch much of this game due to my work schedule. Went to bed early, and I'm glad I did because I didn't want to watch this freaking trash because I would have stayed up for nothing. Defensive battle between these two teams. 19-17 victory, of course, for Kansas City. Not much offense going on. McConkey out for LA before the game started. And yeah, I mean, are you kidding me? How much more luck are the Chiefs going to get every dang week? Every other week? How many times a month? I really hope this team is one and done. I mean, I pray to the football gods that this team is one and done. I am so sick of this team. For some reason, though, like, I'm so sick of this team, but I still don't hate them as much as I did New England in their dynasty run. I don't know what it is, but I still don't hate them as much. But I just hate this team so much, though, at the same time. As if that makes any sense. But just pathetic. I mean, stupid. I'm tired of it. This team is good. I'm telling you, I will make fun of myself if I'm wrong. I'm ready to see this team get waxed in the play. They probably won't get waxed, but I'm ready to see them lose. But it's going to happen. I promise. It's going to happen. This team is this like the 2020 Steelers. It's not going to happen, people. Just let them enjoy it now. The fun will end. The fun is going to end in January. Now to the next game. Monday Night Football. I mean, the Cowboys shouldn't have even been in this game at all. I mean, all the offensive line injuries. Dak Prescott's out. Now we lose Overshown for possibly the next season. Go figure. We did get some defensive players back, but I mean, there's too many injuries on this team. Rico Dow's finally really starting to get his rhythm. I mean, Jamar Chase. I mean, the dude's amazing. I mean, what a game for him. 2 touchdowns, game winner, 177 yards. CeeDee Lamb did a lot as well, very early, and then near the end of the game, Cooper Rush played a stupid game. His stats were, I mean, costly, just stupidity decisions, and just he's slow in the pocket. I mean, Joe Burrow, really, it's just such a bummer. I mean, you know what? Honestly, I'll get to that after the game. But either way, the Bengals get a win. They needed it bad. It's a disappointing win for them, in my opinion, though. No bias, seriously. I mean, they should have won by more than 2 touchdowns. I mean, they are a way better team. T. Higgins didn't even do anything, so it's crazy. They're trying to fight for a playoff spot. Very slim, though. I think they have like a 2% chance even with that win. They go to 5-8, as well as Dallas does. And, now let's move the game. I'm done with the game because I hated it. It's a stupid game. Cowboys punt. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't even talk about that yet. Sorry. The punt, I mean, it's not even the first time I've even seen this happen. I cannot recall when this happened last time, though, but I've seen it happen more than once. I don't know. My football memory cannot remember this play, but the Cowboys have done this. It's either the Cowboys have done this or it was Ohio State. I can't remember. Sorry, but either way, it's an embarrassing loss. The game was possibly most likely over the way our rushing offense was against the Bengals. The Bengals did have 3 timeouts with, it was like a minute 53 when that punt block happened, I think. And Cowboys just needed a first down, game-winning field goal by Aubrey. The game was over. I mean, the game would have been over, but it didn't happen because the Cowboys' special teams, coaching, everything is just a freaking fraud. And it's crazy. I mean, I'm pissed off, but I'm not as pissed. I mean, the season's over. It's just so dumb. I mean, it's just so dumb. Leon Lent 2.0. I mean, it's just so dumb. Anyways, enough of that game. Let's move on to the winners and losers of this week. I think this one's a clear as obvious for my winners of the week. Almost had a second choice, but winners of the week's got to be the Rams. It's a big-time home win. Needed that win big time to stay hunt for the playoffs in their division and beating the Bills. Red-hot Bills, man. Looking great. Looking like one of the best teams in football. Just this outstanding win. Puka Nacua going off. I mean, what a day for him. Kyren Williams finding the end zone. Cooper Kupp had a decent game as well. Matthew Stafford got the job done. Either way, Sean McVay and those Rams, by far, easily my team of the week. All right. There was no, total obvious, like, I feel like this week of a loser of the week. Really looking into this one. Gonna have to give it to the Arizona Cardinals, honestly. Very tough loss at home against Seattle, and having a backup running back, no disrespect to Zach Charbonnet. I think he honestly is a running back one to this point. Just ran all over your defense. Costly turnovers for Kyler Murray, 4 of 12 on third downs. And I'm just not impressed with this game at all with Arizona. It's a very bad loss, in my opinion. I mean, they looked really good off their first drive from the game, I believe it was. They had their first touchdown of the game was off their first drive. And looking really good, honestly. It just kind of just fell apart. I mean, the Seahawks just dominated, honestly, offensively. They looked really good. This just feels weird because this is like there was no clear team this week, I feel like. But this one right here for the Cardinals, I'm just not impressed with this. I'm just not impressed. This is just bad. I mean, I'm not obviously going to be impressed with the loss, but, this is just not good. Not good. This is a bad loss with the rest of the season going on. Now you're 2 games out of first. You're at home against Seattle. And usually I feel like this game is always really low scoring. But Seattle dominated, man. Great game for them. They got the win. And yeah, last but not least, guys, I did talk about the college football playoff up here. Just kind of want to give a quick talk about that. Why not? Extra bonus segment here. Very excited to watch this 12-team playoff bracket with Oregon, Boise State, Arizona State, and Georgia getting the first round byes. Ohio State finally hosting a night game as well. And then we have Clemson and Texas, Penn State and SMU. SMU getting over Alabama. I was stunned, honestly, by that. And then as well, we have the bottom there of the Battle of the State of Indiana. Hoosiers and Irish. That is going to be fun to watch. Honestly, cannot wait for that first game. Either way, though, here's one thing I have to say about this real quick. Clemson was ranked 16th place at the final college football playoff ranking of the year, and they're in the playoff as an ACC championship team. It's 10-3. I don't buy it. There is going to be changes in this. I think for the next couple years, I don't think Clemson has any reason to be in this playoff. Not saying they can't beat Texas, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think that just looks goofy. Goofy and just not right. No. I don't know. Either way, though, cannot wait to see the 12-team playoff, more football, and the biggest thing is less opt-outs of players. That's going to be the best part of this whole playoff system. But either way, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. As once again, if you look up here, the next week of Week 15 of the NFL is upon us coming up. Rams and 49ers will get us started. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll get some Fortnite uploaded content, having so much fun playing that. And some Call of Duty Zombies. I've been grinding out just Black Ops 6 in general. Where's the GTA 6 trailer? It's been on my mind lately. Honestly, I'm really waiting for that GTA 6 trailer. But anyways, though, thank you guys so much for watching my video. Like and subscribe to the channel, BDSM12, Facebook, and TikTok. Also, BDSM12. Catch you guys next week, Week 15. We are getting closer to the playoffs. Just total 4 exact weeks left of the regular season. I cannot wait for the NFL draft.